Hi friends, my name is Doug. Welcome to Third Stall Garage. This is a channel about the restoration of a 66 Mustang convertible, 66 Beetle named Hendrick, random shop improvement upgrades. The intent of the channel is to show that really with some diligent effort and work, anybody with a willingness to try, to be patient and work hard can do amazing things in the shop. And we want to invite you along on this tour. In my shop, the Third Stall Garage, I put in a I-beam on the ceiling that was a gantry hoist crane type operation. There's another video for that if you want to watch. For that, I wanted to have a chain fall and eventually hopefully an electric hoist on the I-beam. So today's episode I picked up for 35 bucks, 30 bucks off Facebook Marketplace, this Budgit 1-ton chain fall. My I-beam cannot handle 1 ton, but I think just this is a really cool historic piece, and I'm excited to try to tear it apart and refurbish it and get it working again, give it a fresh coat of paint and new life. So if you like DIY stuff like this, learning welding, car repair, shop equipment type things, I would love it if you'd hit subscribe and join me on this adventure as we figure out how to tear apart a Budgit 1-ton chain fall. Thanks, have a great day. All right, so I have the chain fall mostly back together. The chain wheel drive is on. I don't have the guard on yet. That just sits over there. The chain would go through here. Before I put it back together the rest of the way, I want to show you how it operates. It took me too long, embarrassing a long amount of time to figure this out. So in here is, I don't know what the names of these are, so I'm gonna call it the main clutch gear and the secondary clutch gear. The secondary clutch gear has a metal cog or lever or powell that engages to stop. You notice that movement right there. It swings up, and then this way it swings back down, and it stops that secondary gear. So when going this way, the secondary gear bounces past it, but then when going backwards, it swings down and locks it so it slips. Forward it slips past, backwards it locks. Slips, locks, slips, locks. When it locks, the secondary gear slips, and as the primary gear turns, it unwinds on that thread that's back there, thus pulling it out ever so slightly and allowing the clutch to slip. So this way they both turn. You can see the drive gear turning in a very reduced fashion. Now I'm going to reverse and go the opposite way. The cog, the powell engages, the clutch slips. Now the drive gear goes the other way. When I had the clutch apart, I simply cleaned it, took the rust off of it, and lubed everything up, put it back together. The clutch material itself was completely adhered on one side of the clutch. I don't know if I was supposed to remove that or not. I left it because it was pretty solidly adhered, and then just resurfaced the other face of it as if you were turning a brake rotor or drum, just to get rid of the rust that was on it. So now I'm gonna assemble this and put the rest of it back together. Just wanted to show you that before it was all hidden again. the last step in the process of putting this chain hoist back together is the chain. So there's two chains. There's a really thick bicycle type chain which lifts the load, and then a regular link type chain which goes around and around that you touch by hand to move it. So both of them were quite rusty. The lift chain, which is kind of like the bicycle type chain, was stiff in a few of the joints, so here's what I did to work on that. So in this bucket is water, and my chains are in the bottom of it. It looks gross and disgusting. It is fall outside. I had the bucket outside, and tons of leaves fell in. It's been recommended to go 10 parts water, 1 part muriatic acid, and that was what I started out doing. I was a little underwhelmed with some of the initial results. Didn't seem like it was doing a whole lot, so I dumped the rest of the muriatic acid in. And that's what it looks like. It is pretty clean. It's been soaking in there for about 24 hours outside, which is when all the leaves fell in. So I'm gonna take this outside and pull the chains out, make sure I don't get any of it on my hands whatsoever. Rinse it thoroughly with water, and then I'm gonna take the chains out and oil them, and I'll show you what they look like before I oil them. Sorry about the bad lighting. I'm outside at night. The lift chain, the hook cleaned up decently. Not all the paint came off. It's definitely better. Looks like there's definitely gunk on it yet, as opposed to this chain. It's hard to. Oh, that looks. It looks pretty much. That's pretty accurate. It looks pretty good. So. Right now I'm going to hose them off and see how that goes. All right, here's the chains back in the shop in a good light. See how nice that looks. Look pretty good. Not perfect. If I wire brushed them or scrubbed them or something, I think they would come out pretty close to perfect, but don't care that much. So I've got them cleaned off relatively well now. If I was using this outside, I would probably do something different. I'm inside a nice dry shop, so I'm simply going to take a jug of used motor oil, put a light coat of oil on all of it, make sure all the links in the lift chain are nice and flexible. And then for the first while I use it, I'll wear gloves. I'll wipe it down with a rag, and then I'll hopefully leave it with a little bit of an oily dark finish and protect it from rust and keep the joints lubricated. project. Budgit 1-ton hoist. Done, rebuilt, clean, greased, painted, functioning well. Shorten the chain so it's just off of the ground. It is ready to go. I happen to have the engine out of my riding lawnmower, John Deere 318. Not the heaviest thing in the world, but a great thing to test it out with. Let's see how it works. I like it. So that wraps up this project in the third style garage. If you like learning about random projects like this and how you can do these repairs yourself, the most important thing you need is a willingness to try. I'd love it if you'd hit subscribe to the channel. The one thing I don't like about this is the chain, as you raise and lower it, bounces up against the object that you're lifting. It would be really sweet if it just had a remote control and was electric, which will give you a clue to the next project. So subscribe so you can watch that when it comes out. Also, doing a lot of fun work on a 66 Beetle convertible with a good friend of mine named Dale, and a 66 Mustang convertible as well. So thanks for being part of Third Style Garage. Have a great day and be nice to each other. Thanks. I like it. Pretty cool for an old machine. You can definitely see as you lift it up. And then if you go up with it, it'll go back